Hello, hello. We are back with Terra Nullius. Wow, that was a thing.
We just survived each other?
Yeah. You will not get experience for each other,
Same old here in Terra Nullius.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think Seth should definitely get points for beating us.
I think I should get points for saving Akashi like 17
To be fair, I beat slightly neutered versions of you.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Those are already, that's already built into the monster themselves, so you're just getting their XP because that's part of their ability. So, okay, cool. So what's the plan? You guys survive. What do you do next?
Tiny hut.
I give Buck a big hug.
Yeah.
And I want to start ritually casting Speak with Animals.
Sure.
Well, do we want to cast Tiny Hut like now? Do we want to like just move a little bit away, like not like a full level of
just like away from the direct beam in around these holes?
Because Tiny Hut lasts for 8 hours. So do we want to cast it now, or do we want to wait a little bit?
Oh yeah.
We want to wait until.
I guess we want to wait.
Maybe let's do this. Ari, do you want to make a survival check to like find a good spot around here?
Sure.
Sounds like a thing.
I need
23.
Yeah, no problem. You find a good sheltered spot, and Toity casts Tiny Hut.
Well,
and,
I'll cast Tiny Hut once we go to bed.
Right, exactly. Yes, you guys are like safe the rest of the night, basically. And you cast Tiny Hut, and I think what we do then is or you wanted to talk to Buck, right?
Yeah.
You should ask him when his birthday is because I need that information.
It's probably honestly like really close. When did we start this expedition?
November 1st.
Yeah, it's probably like November.
Got here.
It's probably like October, like sometime in October. It's like
because remember he was born after we.
Yeah, let's say October 25th.
Didn't
October 25th?
Just hatch?
Not just hatch, but like enough to like he was still crawling around the nest, right? They don't leave the nest for a while.
Halloween?
He's not that young. I think October 25th is his birthday.
Okay, what
that
year?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
1492.
1492. Come on.
Okay.
I don't think SoundCloud.
I don't think it lets you do that.
Well, he's 1 year
How far
old.
do you go back? Like
1992?
Are
Just
you sure?
Make him 20 because that's our 20th episode. So.
Yeah, do 1992.
Or 1992, either one.
My birthday here.
There you go.
But anyway, so I think what we do is everybody's in a tiny hut now, right? We kind of cut forward, and so Ari is like talking to Buck now in the future when everybody's safe.
I should mention this tiny hut is only 10 feet wide.
I mean, yeah, everybody's just getting cozy.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's Liamon's tiny hut for a reason.
Yeah.
Could Buck even fit inside?
Very uncomfortably. Yeah, y'all are really uncomfortable, honestly. Like, there's not much space. But so let's say like this conversation is probably happening outside the tiny hut.
I don't think she can come back if she leaves.
No, it's fine. We can do it inside because nobody understands me anyway, so
fair.
I don't care.
Right. So I think it's probably everybody's kind of like just like trying to sleep, right? And so like everybody kind of getting bedded down for the night. And so like Buck is kind of like curled up next to you, Ari. And like very like protectively so. Like he kind of has a wing over you. And you know, I think we kind of zoom in on Ari and we hear her whispering the last words of the ritual. And then suddenly you can understand and communicate with Buck. And he says, "I was scared, Ari."
Oh gosh. That's the first thing he says.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know how Ari feels right now. She just lost Darius. She almost lost Buck. She's kind of like, I think she like tries to like hold it in. She's just like, Me too. I was really scared too.
But don't worry.
I saw you go down while that thing was in my body. I think I did. I might have already been down.
Actually, yeah, you were already down when that happened.
I was so scared because I didn't see you and where you were.
Don't worry, Ari. I won't let it happen again. And like that's like a bullcrap statement, right? Like he doesn't have the power to do that sort of thing, but he's feeling very like protective of you right now.
It's because he loves me,
Yes.
even though he doesn't know what that is.
Yes.
He wants to know what love is, but Ari won't show him.
What is love? Tell me.
I mean, I don't really have anything I want to say other than just like make sure he's okay.
Yeah, and I think like the whole conversation is you both like making sure the other is okay and not like paying it. It's like, no, I'm fine. I'm not. Are you okay? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Does anyone have another conversation or anything they would like to do before we wake up the next day?
20's just exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine using that much magic within that short a period of time is probably like drained him in a
I think
sense.
you know what I think it is for Toity? I think because all of your stuff has to do with your voice, right? I think Toity's voice is like really hoarse, right? Like his voice is scratchy and he's coughing and stuff like while he's recovering. Yeah, and so a fun thing to point out, this is actually, today was the closest we've ever come to being on the day. It's November 30th, that day that all that went down. It's November 29th today. So we're very...
If we keep playing this day for another hour, I will be playing on the same day.
No, but that's the thing. Now it's November 30th. Or,
No.
sorry, no, now it's November... No, now it's
31st.
December 1st, right?
Yeah,
When
that's
you guys
what I
wake
was
up.
like,
So
if
now...
we had kept...
Yeah. If this has happened all in the same day, this session, but now we've moved on. So we wake up on December 1st, and the tiny hut disappears. What's playing, guys?
Sorry, I'm resetting all my things.
Oh, actually, also,
And I wasn't keeping track of how many arrows I used. I think I used
I think you used two.
I think I used 2 on
yeah,
you,
I
so
think you only used 2.
Well,
I'll just say that
yeah.
I got
I used like
all
no,
my-
1. No, that was 2. Yeah, right, it was 2.
I think it
Also-
was 2.
Everyone gets 825 experience.
It's a weird time to get experience, but okay.
I mean, yeah, it was after a long rest. So.
That's true.
For both of the encounters?
Oh, right. Yeah, you did.
We
Killed,
beat a zombie.
yeah, forgot about that one.
825, you said?
Yeah, 825, and then each of you get 113 more for killing that. For killing the Fire Genasi zombie.
re-killing it.
Yeah, re-killing it.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. All right.
113.
Yeah. What is the plan? Just gonna keep
I guess
moving
we
on?
guess we keep going.
Okay, sounds
Um,
good.
I think. Like,
I would like to. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to make an investigation check on the hornets because Akashi, did you say anything about them being fleshy?
Yeah, that's the thing. You guys like booked it out of there. I mean, you guys can probably have this conversation, right? Like as you guys are like kind of packing up camp.
Or, I mean, we had like 4 or 5 hours before we could
Well,
even
you
rest.
did, but it sounded like you wanted to get out of there as soon as possible.
Well, I know, but we could talk about it. At least
right.
we would have probably talked about it.
Yeah, so let's say
I mean, would Akashi even say anything? Is my question.
yeah, I guess that is a question.
Yeah. Okay. So you're wondering if Akashi would mention the fact that he saw like fleshy.
Yeah. Right, because you guys would know that where Akashi wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he'd say something like, just before they came out, I noticed their nests were like flesh.
Well, that sounds something similar to what we've encountered before.
What do you mean nest? What did it...
There were holes in the ground. I noticed just before that there were a few, that I was sitting right next to a hole, and I got up, and after I got up, I noticed that there were plenty others around, and inside the hole there was this sort of fleshy. It wasn't dirt. It was almost like muscle.
Ari, how far away are we from that shrine?
We are.
Pretty close.
We're pretty close. We're about. Let's see here. We are.
Where was it on the map?
3.
The flesh place
We're about 2 hours away.
is over there.
Days away.
2 hours. 2 hours
How
away.
big is this flesh thing?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, it would have to be huge if it was 2 hours away.
You've seen this before?
We were
kind of.
inside it.
You were.
It was really bad.
You were.
You know, I'm not. There are some times when questions just don't need to be asked. This might be one of those times.
Okay, well, I don't really care to get attacked by bugs again and have my body taken over.
So another note is when you really think about it, especially like after the fact and you kind of had a chance to think back through it, they didn't look like bugs. I mean, they seemed like it when they were initially swarming, but I mean, you all got at least one chance to get a good look at one of them up close. And like, they didn't really have like limbs or faces. It was just kind of a black
matter.
particle. Yeah.
Okay, well then I don't want to get attacked by black specks again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so curious though, like, why is the flesh coming all the way out here? I thought it was just that one area.
I wonder why that would be happening.
Unless this entire island is a creature.
Oh god.
I'd hope not.
Is it like a giant sea turtle? Is
Are
that
we
what's
living
happening?
Are we living on top of a Tarrasque right now?
Oh, if we are, we're screwed.
I mean, it would explain Pangea.
I love all of these suggestions. Keep them coming.
Actually, no, we're not. We're on cotton candy.
It's so weird. Whatever this creature is, though, its heart and its brain are like right next to each other, and that's a little weird.
Okay, that's not the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking about weird things about this, but okay.
I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, if we're going off the assumption, which it seems like you guys are, that like this spreads out a while, yeah, it would be kind of strange that its heart and its brain were right next to each other if it's like literally spreading out through the entire thing.
So, should we move a little further and then just start digging and see what we find?
You could certainly do that.
I mean, I guess. I
we
guess
can-
what we could do is we could make investigation checks, right, to see like if we find more like.
I was going to say, we can make sure we don't find more of the little places that they'd pop out and then just start digging to see if we find dirt or flesh.
I guess. I mean, or we could just go back to the holes and like look at it.
So a thing to remember is you guys were you did look down the giant tunnel, the ghost thing, right, that went down like a half a mile or whatever. You didn't see flesh there. It seems like stone.
I mean, that's true.
We've been underground.
Yeah, but we're
You've been
further
underground
away.
quite a few times. So, like, at the very least, the
Like,
flesh
at the
doesn't.
very least, this whole island isn't a fleshy
Well,
thing.
or at the very least, it doesn't have the same depth to it that it starts, right?
Might only be mostly a flesh creature under the ground.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything. I'm just, throwing out logical points.
Does anyone have a shovel?
No.
Oh,
Give me a second. I'm not sure what.
I have
Oh,
2 hand axes I can start digging with.
not sure
I
that
mean,
would work.
I think at that point, why don't we just go back to where the holes are and see what we see?
Because I don't want to have the stuff attack me.
Well, yeah, I don't.
I mean,
either.
if you want me to start hitting you and then you get really weak and then look in,
Right.
so then if I go
We'll
into-
beat you up
No.
first, Ari. We'll send you in. And then,
Yeah, I can just heal you from afar.
No,
and then
we're
Tony will
good.
snipe you,
Thanks.
and it'll be fine.
You know what? Let's just keep going.
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was a very good idea, but since you wanted to go back to the place
I mean,
that we got taken over.
aren't you at least a little curious, Raya, of what is in there?
That's why
Yeah, Raya.
I was.
Come on.
Yeah, I am curious, which is why I think we should keep moving a little and start digging down to see if we see flesh.
I say we just keep looking around.
We just don't
because
have the tools for that.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen the rest of this island. Let's just see
That's
what
true.
else is here. Maybe we'll find the head.
Okay, let's just go.
You want to keep traveling?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we set out at 7.
Yeah.
And I guess I keep an active lookout for different things along the way.
Yeah. Do you? Who
I-
has
like
the
if-
highest perception?
Perception?
Yeah.
Like passive perception?
No, just. Well, I mean, yeah, perception. Whatever your perception bonus is. Like if
Plus
you rolled
5?
it.
Let's 6.
2.
2.
All right, let's have Akashi roll with advantage for all of you. Just kind of looking around as you go.
24.
He looks in his eyes, his
Yeah.
special eyes.
So, what are you
My
looking
breath.
for?
My breath.
What are you looking for in particular, Akashi?
Any more of the same, like, of the plant that I've already figured out the properties of,
Yeah.
and any plant that I can maybe kind of pick up that might be worth looking into, see if there's anything, like any plant that looks a little different or out of place, or like looks like it might have some sort of property to it that I can learn from.
Oh, so this is just Akashi looking for plants?
Well, that was my intention was to, as we're traveling along to.
Are you not going to look out for more of the little holes? Or enemies?
This is
Or
just a
any
plant.
of the dangerous things? You just want to look for
Like, I
plants?
think what happens, right, is maybe, like, at some point, like, we're traveling along thinking that, like, he's looking for these things. We're like, okay,
yes. Oh,
got
that's
this.
perfect.
And then at some point, he's like, this is poison, I think, over here. We're like, what the heck, dude? What are you doing?
We thought you were looking for the holes.
None of this works at all.
Yeah, so let's say, yeah, I think Akashi, you find 2 more things of the sleep
Okay.
pollen, and then
Are
one.
there the little holes by those plants? Or no?
Not that time. No. So it doesn't seem like there's a correlation between that plant and the holes. You also find one plant that you're pretty sure is some type of poison, but you're not entirely sure how deadly of
So
a poison.
you eat it.
Obviously.
But yeah, that's something you can like probably test. And then yeah, like I mean, I think there comes a time right after we get that point where everybody realizes that Akashi hasn't been looking for the plants, and everybody's like, "What are you doing? Like, look for the holes too." I think it does come a time when you get up to this hex right here. This is at 8 a.m. You come across another hole, very similar, and like you look down, and like yeah, flesh.
So I'm gonna find
This is you scouting ahead though, right?
Okay.
Do you want to make a stealth roll for me?
Me?
Are we not going past without trace?
No. It only lasts an hour.
Oh, okay.
So wait, I'm the one that's making.
Yeah, make a
roll?
stealth roll. Yeah.
And would I be trying to stealth, or am I?
I would assume so.
Okay, I was just wondering if.
Would you be trying to sell?
I mean, I guess maybe you aren't, and you just get attacked by more of the sword.
I'm just debating. Nah. Okay, yeah, I'll just roll stealth. See what happens.
There you go.
Why are you concerned? You have a +8 to stealth.
Yes, but if
Jeez.
I had gotten that 2, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you're totally fine. We see Akashi like find these again, and you catch it in time and like step away, right? And like they don't come out or whatever. But I think if you listen closely, you hear a slight like hum, like a low hum. And I think like what this is, Akashi, is you can tell now, like where they're gonna be, so you guys won't have to worry about stumbling upon them again. Akashi will always be able to, as long as Akashi's with you, he'll be able to find these in advance.
my ninja senses are tingling.
Exactly. Yeah.
I really want to cast Shatter down one of those.
I mean, yeah, it's this thing, right? I think the first one that you find, right, Akashi, you go back and you tell everybody, hey, I found this thing. And you guys can, certainly, like, go over there again if you would like.
No, not particularly.
Okay.
If he says he heard a humming, I'm like,
Yeah,
nope,
just keep
not
going.
that again.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that to you again. I doubt I'll get that lucky again.
Hold on, let me look at my cube of force for just a second.
That's an idea.
You mean your
'cause
beans of force?
My beans of force.
The
But
earth
if there's
rise.
multiples, we don't necessarily have a good way of stopping multiples.
Okay. I don't know why I have it in my I don't have it in my character sheet for some reason. I have it under my items, but I don't have it in like there. So so if I pull out, if I do a 5, nothing can pass through the barrier. Walls, floors, and ceilings can pass through it at your discretion.
Yeah.
So basically, nothing.
How long does that last?
Let's see here. The cube loses its charges when the barrier is targeted by certain spells or comes into contact with certain spells or magical item effect, or as shown on the table below.
So this is a weird question, but
So basically, if you cast a certain spell at it, it'll deactivate. And then let's see here. Use an action.
Let's see if I can find anything.
Charges.
We could get close to one. I could use Liam's tiny hut to sneak up on one, and that way
Lasts
if we
for
get-
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I just
You have
read that.
You have 36 charges on it. So
Dang,
you could
why
use
have I
it.
not been using this?
I don't know.
I've got a question. It's like the dimensions are in the shape of a cube, right?
No, it's
their-
a bag of beans.
Yeah,
Right.
so what it is
Well,
she
you
pulls.
passed it.
It takes one action.
No, he's talking about like the force barrier.
What?
Barrier of invisible-
When you use it and the thing is created, is the dimensions of the thing
Yeah,
you
forming a
created.
cube 15 feet on a side.
Okay, because they are beans, would it be in the shape of a bean?
I think it would be. I think it would be in the shape of a bean.
So I mean, we could do that, right? Like we could, because I think we can still do stuff. Like we can cast things outside of the barrier. I think.
The real question is
Well,
how
it can,
many
yeah, it can
poles
pass through
are
your
there?
walls, floors, and ceilings can pass through it at your discretion.
So.
So you would have to deactivate it if you wanted anything else to go through.
Liam's tiny hut. We can do that if we really want to do that.
No, I think that I can still do things out. Like I can like shoot an arrow outside, like the barrier.
We can do that with Liam's tiny hut too. Things can go out; they just can't come in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Things can go out, so you could like cast shatter, like outside of the.
It just says pass through. I think it's no matter what.
Can't pass.
Yeah,
Well, either
that's
way.
either direction.
For the orb, for the cube, or the what?
For the cube. For the beans.
Okay, so you can do things inside of it.
Yeah,
but
you just
not-
couldn't. So it would completely protect you for that amount of time, but like you couldn't do anything out of it either.
Right. So what this would
But you
be good
could
for,
move.
basically.
You could move along with it, right?
Right. So basically, what this is good for, essentially, is like if we're surrounded, I can like cast it, and then just like Ryan can heal a bunch, and then we just like go again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we have like a giant bomb and we're going to destroy a place, we're gonna be like, all right, bomb, hut, or like building, boom, everything goes away, and then we all just
Yeah, the
like,
thing to keep in mind though, right, is I think what we'll do is we'll have it be a circle, and because I mean a bean shape is going to be really hard to do.
Yeah.
But what we would do is, so how it works, right, is it just creates the barrier 15 feet away from you, which means it creates it, and anything that's inside that barrier would stay there. So if you're directly surrounded, it's not good to use that unless there's like a bunch of people outside of that, because you can just kill the guys inside and then kill the guys outside. But yeah, you wouldn't want to. You try to make sure not to get stuck in there with things.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Also, I was wrong about tiny hut. Magic can't go through it. Never mind. I thought it could.
Yeah, and this one magic can't go through it if I use a certain
Certain level of it, yeah.
certain level. Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay. Do you guys just keep going on then?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth investigating. Even if we killed them, what would that really garner us?
XP.
Besides that.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, there's certainly some sort of mystery going on here, but
I mean, I already said that we shouldn't mess with it, so that's still my stance.
Honestly, I'm kind of fine with it.
yeah. Okay, cool. It is 9 a.m. when you get there, and then it's 10 a.m.
As we're going through, is there still fleshy things around us?
About when you get to here, you don't find any more.
Okay.
There's a couple as you kind of move. Move
Now,
up.
hold on. Wouldn't we have noticed this when we were exploring the coast?
Oh yeah, you would have. Except you didn't.
If you were looking for it.
No.
I mean, we were exploring.
Mhm.
What?
Hold on.
Whatever, Caleb.
Stop. Think about it. What if it wasn't there before?
It's growing.
I don't like the sounds of that. I don't
Just
like
as
the
the
sounds of that at
plot
all.
line is.
Is it because we kept the doors open?
Uh-oh. Maybe we should check
I will
that.
neither confirm nor deny anything.
I don't think we should go anywhere near
Technically,
it.
though, we
Just
didn't.
let
Technically,
everything
we
happen.
shut the doors. It was the beholder thing that like opened the doors back up, though.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't go back to close it.
Nope.
We were gonna die if we stayed.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay, so
saying
it's-
that we did the wrong thing.
You just
Okay,
made
so
a
it's 10
decision
a.m.
and it had consequences.
Did you roll for a random encounter?
No, I was just
Caleb?
about to. Yeah. Nope. Okay. So it is. Oh, that was really bad.
Did you see that, Caleb, in the chat?
Is 11. No.
So, Caleb, do me a favor. When we're done exploring this area, use the ruler to like draw like a circle or whatever for me around where the fleshy parts starts and or ends,
Sure.
basically. So that way, Ari will mark that on her map as like
Yeah.
area becomes fleshy,
Yeah. Here, let me.
because that's something that she wants to do
for
now.
sure.
Is
That
like
makes sense. Well, so far, you have like
just when we're done with this area.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
not-
so
not-
far you've this is kind of the barrier so far.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So that's
Fair
11. 11:30, 12. 12:31.
2 more hours.
Yeah, 2. Just going through the jungle.
In the jungle.
Yes. 3.
Jungle.
I was
That's
expecting going through the jungle.
No, that's it. Caleb,
That's
that's
it,
it.
Caleb.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
as long as we
Yep.
can go.
We're done.
Unless you guys want to start making constitution saves.
Nope.
No.
I just deleted my
Ugh.
freehand.
Well, so now make me a new one of like when it's going.
Oops. I think it was like that. It's kind of what. Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting a feel for it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. So
Because we're not in it as we're gonna rest for the day.
Wait.
What?
What was that ruin again on the bottom left?
this is the flesh cave right here.
That's the
Oh, that
flesh.
was the flesh
Yeah.
cave. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought that was the lizard people for some reason.
That's
No,
No,
it's
no,
a
no. They're
people
way
south.
down south.
Okay, yeah. Oh, right. That's not on my map currently. Anyway, scroll down now.
Yeah, so you guys set up camp for the night, December 1st. Let's see, and then we have 4 to 10, 10-4, and 4 to 10 again. So let's see if anything happens. Nope, nothing happens. Okay.
Oh darn.
It is December 2nd. And it is 8 a.m.
Oh, we're not the jungle anymore.
9 a.m. Yeah, so you get down to the river valley again. And then you move into jungle again.
Yay!
10 a.m. Oops. Nothing.
Is there flesh in this one?
No. And then you get to 11, and you... wait, which one did I say didn't have flesh?
You said this
before
one
that.
didn't have
Okay.
flesh.
Yeah, so it goes... Basically, you get a feel for it's that.
Got it.
Should we go check out the flesh tunnels while we're down here? And the coastline over there?
I don't really want to.
Well, I don't really want this thing to be growing more.
Honestly, like,
Right, but you also
Here's
needed to
Ari's-
go talk to Willow.
here's Ari's thought process right now. She just wants to finish exploring this island as fast as possible and get her land and just be alone.
Yeah, but do you really want land on an island that's being devoured by flesh?
No, because the
I
army's going to
desire
take
flesh.
the army is going to take care of killing everything, and then I'll just get to enjoy it.
Are they though? Because I feel like
I mean,
people
I would
doing
assume
this
so.
right now.
No, we're good.
Maybe Ari's really creepy and she just wants flesh.
Yeah, she's okay with this.
You promised me skin.
You promised me flesh. Every step is a new nightmare.
Why would you wake me without skin?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's what it was. You promised me flesh. Alyssa,
Watch
have you?
that, Alyssa?
Yeah, have you ever seen those yet?
So good.
We can show you those. Hilarious.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay, then if you say that we want the art, I just feel like we should just go look at it.
No, I'm really good.
And yeah, Ari's kind of in charge, right? So.
I kind of start like taking like a few steps towards it and see what Ari does.
I like grab you by the arm and I say, "No, princess, we're
Yeah.
going this way."
Ooh.
This is where Raya and Ari have it out.
I just start saying really mean things about Ari and Infernal and watch Akashi as I do it.
As soon as he says watch a princess, I turn to Akashi. I'm like, I start backing up a little bit.
I just turn and Akashi's eyebrows just start to raise a little bit, like at Raya's Infernal.
Yeah.
I start, well, because I know that she's insulting me. Or should I make an insight check to see? Well, I mean, I think it's obvious.
I think it's obvious. Yeah.
It's quite obvious.
I think it is.
Then,
It's like if someone's Hispanic grandmother suddenly started yelling at you in Spanish. Like, you know something's wrong.
Hold on. I was going to say something. So Raya is actually a princess, right? Is that?
no.
No.
Or she hasn't.
She's
She
in
hasn't-
nobility,
Princess,
but
I'm
she's a noble woman. But she's not
She
a...
hasn't,
Okay.
she hasn't confirmed or denied that. I just call her that because I
Yeah.
think she's an entitled, selfish
Okay.
Yeah,
brat.
brat, yeah.
But
Yeah,
here-
you
here-
might know more about my family than everybody else if you've
That's-
been with Lord Navarro.
Yeah.
Well, it was that, and also the fact that like on my travels and just through everything, would my character know a little bit more?
You met
Well,
Sabu.
I don't
You met Sabu, Akashi, so of course you do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
talk about me.
So, Raya, I start
What's
insulting
funny
you in
about me?
Draconic, by the way.
You could just yell at each other in other
You know
languages.
what's funny is that's the other language that I almost took.
That would have been hilarious.
So we're now just
So-
yelling at each other in different languages.
So
and-
next
I cast comprehend languages on myself because I'm kind of curious what's going on.
And then suddenly you wish you had not.
I'm like, oh.
You hear some slang that you've never heard before that you don't know what it means, and you don't
But it
really think
sounds
you wanna
bad.
know.
Yeah, like the literal translation for Draconic curse words. Oh boy.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, for Draconic, it's based on dragons, right? So it has a lot
Right.
to do with like master servant sort of thing. So it's very, very like degrading. Like you are lower than dirt sort of a thing. You are like, yeah.
So like I guess I kind of noticed he casts comprehend languages.
I mean, I don't think this goes on for very long.
I don't think it
it's
does.
Like maybe like a minute, and then we're
Yeah.
done.
You
I'm
just
like,
storm off.
Actually,
Like-
you know what probably happened?
come on.
Tony was probably like about to cast comprehend languages on myself. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Like I think like would Akashi have noticed?
Actually, what's a comprehend? Maybe like you saw me like pulling something out of my hands. I'm like, no. Just wipe it off on my pants.
Yeah.
I think Akashi like just puts his hand like down on Toidy's shoulder and just looks at him with like kind of wide eyes and just goes,
Jesus. Yeah, that's what it is, right? You don't want to hear this right now. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, you were gonna say like,
Let's go.
yeah. So I guess you guys just continue.
After they're done yelling at each other, I want to say, you got that out of your systems now?
I don't think it'll ever be
I like
fully
yell
out.
one more curse word in Draconic at Toity.
I think Akashi just turns and looks at Toys and says, "Pleasant friends."
Oh, the best of them.
And I think I just like snap back and I'm like, we're not friends. And then just
Uh-huh.
like keep walking.
Perfect. Oh, the tension is so thick
No,
right
actually,
now.
that's probably what happened. She says that, and I turned it back to him and was like, the best of them.
Yeah. All right.
As we're walking,
Mhm.
I was curious before, but now that I had this, outburst of speaking Infernal, I'm gonna attempt to talk to Kashi again and find out more about him. And
In Infernal.
yeah, so as we're walking, I'm just gonna be like, did you understand what Ari was saying too?
No, I know only Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
How do you even know?
Okay, hold on. What time is it when we get there?
2:30.
Okay.
Then you better go to a dentist.
Wow.
Hey, you guys made that joke last time.
Yeah. Okay, but I was trying to say
Yeah.
like, how do you know? Where did you learn Infernal?
I grew up around Infernal.
Where? In the monastery?
So was that was the language that your clan used? Is that what you're saying?
So Infernal is spoken by
Tieflings primarily in this
Tiefling.
world. And that, I mean, but it's also a language that I'm sure.
so it's spoken.
Demons.
Yeah.
Where are tieflings and demons in general?
So this is I mean, honestly, where it's kind of interesting because in D&D normally tieflings are like the direct descendants of like actual like humans that made alliance with fiends. So
Yeah.
like devils, not demons exactly, but devils.
Right.
And I think it's probably something like that in this, but I think like the exact reason why they ended up they definitely have some sort of connection with devils, particularly. But it's probably been lost to time. Honestly, it was probably like some sort of Egyptian pharaohs that made like a pact with devils, something like that.
Or
Actually, you know what it is? I think the Egyptians speak infernal, but I think the far and wide normal like African tieflings speak abyssal. I think they're more connected to like chaotic demons than
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down in my world history.
That would be good to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah,
Right. So I think I mean the infernal is the language of devils, and devils are like the lawful evil ones, the ones who care about order and ranks and all that stuff.
okay, so I think Akashi says the majority of my clan, where I am from, consists of elves and tieflings.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some like Japanese like Oni tieflings. Oh, that's totally what it is. Yeah, I'm into it.
Where are you from? You have a weird accent.
And we can just assume he has like a Japanese accent.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's no way. I'm Japanese.
Well, just and just like dialect in Infernal.
Right, the
I would
infernal
think it would be
dialect
very
probably
different.
is definitely different.
Yeah.
It's
Japan.
probably the difference between like I'm trying to think. Honestly, it's probably difficult. It was probably difficult for Akashi to understand you, and vice versa. Like he could puzzle it out.
Okay, I got my information, so I kind of am like
I don't care about
walking.
this. Yeah.
I'm kind of like, if he doesn't stop me, I'm just gonna. Kind of
I don't think
like,
Akashi's the kind of
and go
person to
on my
carry on
way.
a conversation very long either. So, so you guys get there and it's 2:30. It's about the end of the day. Are you gonna go north? Is that what's
We're
happening?
gonna go one more square down. We're gonna snake back up, and then we'll go to the willow.
Okay. Sounds good. I was just curious if you wanted to go straight there or finish up the.
Nope.
Okay,
Finish up
cool.
the day.
So this is 3, and I'm gonna roll. So you guys are gonna rest, and I'm gonna roll 3 dice for the encounters. Okay. So in the morning when you wake up, something happens.
Does it happen after we're all up, or is it while I'm on watch still?
It is as you guys are packing up.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll see what it actually what it is. Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
We always say, oh, no matter what it is.
We're like,
I know. I
oh,
was
no.
about to say, I don't think it really matters.
Okay,
Oh,
now
God.
I'm really worried.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Now we
Oh God.
now we know
The
we're good.
ground opens up, and you
Rocks
are
fall,
devoured
everyone
by
dies.
Oh, this is so interesting. I was not expecting this. Okay, let me think about this for just a
Oh
moment.
no.
flesh.
This is so interesting, guys. For me as a DM, I get to come up with new ways to kill you. And come up with more 2-hour long
Hoity, I think this is
encounters.
when you are on watch, on the last watch. Would you make a perception test for me?
Oh no.
No, actually, he won't.
Well, no. Here, I'm trying to think of
Okay,
something.
then they sneak up on you.
refuses.
Well, I'm trying to think of something.
They
I'm trying
sneak
to-
up on you? Who's they?
I don't know. Who are they?
I'm trying to think of if I would have cast Liam's tiny hut on us. Was there a did we make a fire?
I don't know.
Would we have made a fire?
I'm
don't
fine
know.
with if you make a habit of doing that every night now. If you want to.
I probably would now
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
I started getting paranoid.
I mean, it makes
Well,
sense.
if at that point, then none of us would be awake because we don't have to keep watch
Yeah.
if we're in the hut.
That's true.
Okay, so interesting. Okay, yeah, so I mean, I think nothing you are not aware of anything that happened. Some things passed by you and did not notice.
I can't rope. I can't rope.
Or, I mean, you're not awake, right?
There's
Okay.
no reason for you to be awake.
Are we gonna be? Well, would we still do watches just to keep an eye on stuff? Because I mean, stuff could still sneak up. It's just that they wouldn't necessarily be able to.
That's true. I mean, they could be waiting
mean-
outside.
Honestly, Ari would probably want to still take watches,
Mhm.
just to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's fine. So, Twitty, you make a
I
perception
would
check
also
for me.
like to point out that technically,
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway.
I mean, you got
Akashi
higher than them. They got a 5.
Okay.
Akashi doesn't sleep, so
Oh,
Ever?
really?
At all?
nope.
You
he has,
technically,
You just go into a trance. For
I go
like
into a
4
trance
hours.
for 4 hours, and that counts as an 8-hour
Oh, right,
rest.
because you're an elf. Yeah, sure.
But I mean, I still have to have a long rest amount of time to
right,
do.
you still have to do 8 hours. You just only have to be in trance for 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think Akashi and Toity, you're both awake for this. And so, yeah, I think what happens is, well, let's see here. Ari, make a survival check for me.
I'm not awake.
No. For the spot you chose for camp.
Oh, okay, fine.
The ground is gonna swallow us. I was right.
Survival?
Yeah.
13.
Okay, so what happens is, Toity and Akashi, you hear
Press the wrong button.
some footsteps. Somewhere in the distance outside of the hut. But unless you do anything, they eventually fade.
I as soon as I heard footsteps, I probably looked to Akashi like, do you hear that?
Akashi just like silently just looks at him and nods his head. Can we look outside of the hut without anyone noticing us, or?
It's transparent. It says
Yeah.
from the inside.
Okay, so
Oh, no, okay, so you just see then. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys see a group of lizard folk. It's kind of
Oh.
like a hunting band of some sort, and there's one at the head of them that looks. Okay, so yeah.
I want to kill him, but I'm asleep.
Okay, so this is what you see. So you hear this at first, right? And then Toity, you and Akashi, you guys are kind of like looking out and keeping watch on this. And you see a couple of like lizard folk scouts kind of like walk over and like in a clearing, like a bit of a distance away from you. They kind of like check out the region and then kind of like head back. And then eventually like a whole group of lizard folk come. And it's like, like 8 lizard folk. One of them is really big. Like he's a hulking lizard folk, very, very large. And he's holding the reins of a dinosaur. And it looks like, let me drag this out for you.
Is it a zombie dinosaur?
No, it's not a zombie dinosaur.
Aw.
It looks like that.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
It's a Spinosaurus. So it has a huge
okay.
fin on the back of it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask this first. How close were we to finishing the long rest?
You're really very close, yeah.
The
Oh.
dinosaur is a lot bigger than I thought it was. It's a 10-foot radius, so it's a 20-foot diameter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we can fit in just fine, and then pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question: could I know that I can wake them up without, and they would be fine, and have gotten their full rest?
Yeah, let's say that. That's
Okay, so probably on the first time when we first see the scouts, I go to Arian and Brian, probably wake them up. So when I first see the scouts,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you all see this. You see a procession of lizard folk walk by, and there's a big one with a Spinosaurus pet.
how
So,
How many are there? You said?
8 lizard folk. One of them is very large, and he's holding the
And
reins.
riding the dinosaur.
He's not riding it, but he's holding the reins of it as he like walks it along.
Oh, okay. I'm shocked to see them this far out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're by the. I wonder if they were going around by the ogres.
we killed all the ogres. We killed the ogres.
ignore that. Actually, I'm just gonna look at that right there then.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I'm wondering about. I'm wondering what they're doing out here so far away from
I
their
mean,
clan.
you can send someone to follow them.
Akashi.
Say that again.
I mean, honestly, it'd actually probably be you because you can actually understand what they're saying.
I'm not the old. Well, okay, I'm the old.
I mean, yeah, Ari could cast Pass Without a Trace on you, and then you could follow them.
Do we want to? Here's my
Well,
question.
Ari and
it
Twin
has-
have to go.
Okay.
We'd
I mean, yeah, that
both-
makes sense though.
Do we want to just all follow them and I can cast tongues on myself?
That's probably not a good idea if we won't be.
I mean,
stealthy
even
if
with
I
the plus,
go.
even with the +10, Raya's
still,
sometimes
yeah.
has gotten really low.
Yeah.
I have disadvantage and a +0.
It is something to keep in
Oh,
mind though.
is
They
it-
rolled a 5 on their perception.
I know, but we wouldn't know that as
So-
characters. Though.
I know, but
I'm not gonna metagame this.
yeah.
Here's my question. What's the light like right now? Is it dim light, or is it actually like, is it dimly lit, or is it dark, or is it actually like light outside right now?
Or sorry, they actually rolled a 12 on their perception. It's light. I mean, it's like 7 a.m.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay with that. If Toity and I can cast Pass Without Trace,
makes
we
sense.
can try to get a
The
closer look.
other
and we can
thing though is
hear.
if Twitty leaves the hut, just like automatically.
I mean, it was
goes
about
away.
to disappear anyway.
It's about to
So-
disappear
It
anyways.
is about
Yeah,
to-
so I'm just saying we have to.
As long as you guys
str-
stay where you
strategic
are, I
time.
think we're fine because the place
Yeah, you should be fine.
I think they haven't noticed you guys. I think it would
Okay.
be.
So, I mean, Toity and Ari roll stealth checks with +10.
I'm gonna cast tongues on myself while she's doing that.
Sure. Yeah, the DC is 12.
Stealth.
Yep.
So I have
Yeah,
to roll
you just
better.
gotta roll at least a 2.
Well, so I realized that the 5 was actually for their stealth. The 12 was for their perception.
Right.
Okay,
they have
so
to
we're
roll at
both
least a
fine.
2
Oh,
for
right.
the
Yeah,
+10,
of course. Yeah.
Which
We're
for me
both
would
fine.
be still difficult.
Yeah, so you guys follow them, no problem. How far are you willing to follow them? I mean, this only lasts for an hour.
And so does
Pass Without
tongues.
Trace.
Probably no more than half an hour.
So I guess you follow them up here, right? You follow them to the river.
Like just barely.
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah.
And so I think what happens is, Toity, I mean, you guys are listening to them, right? I think you get the information that you kind of pick up from following them, listening to them, and then watching where they go after you guys like kind of like go back, right? When they get to the river, they what happens is they move. Let me double check a note thing real quick. I just want to double
Okay.
check that I know what's going on here. Let's look at my fronts. Okay. Tribe of Bitter Thunder. What are they up to?
As you say, Tribe of Bitter Thunder, you hear thunder in the distance. It was
Thunder.
Raya casting thaumaturgy.
Hear the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Yeah, they move or down the river, I guess. Right? They move this way.
Oh.
Wait,
Start
which
following
way?
the river down.
Wait, which way?
Towards the
Towards the
orb.
river. Yeah.
Towards Willow?
I mean, also that, yeah. Just down the river. And so, Toity, the things you hear from them, basically, I mean, they don't, I'm not going to say that, like, they start talking to each other about the details of their plan, because that's
Just
not a
give
thing
us
that
all
they
the
would do.
exposition.
Right, because that's not what they would say, but I think your guess is, from what they say, you're like, okay, I think that they are, one, they mention the Empire of the Seven Serpents. It sounds like they are allied with the snakes that are on the island.
No.
And
Wait, sorry. Sorry, I'm not saying that they are allies with
the Empire with the Empire of the Seven Serpents, the Yanti, Yuan-Ti.
Oh, no.
And it sounds like they are going to a meeting of some sort. And it's unclear though. They say the meeting at the ruins. It is unclear whether the ruins are the ones that are there with Willow or the ones that are the tower. You're unsure as to that. They don't specify further.
After like, I would say probably after like 30 minutes, I would cast sending to Ari
Sure.
and just say, "Are you okay? What have you found out?"
Do you want to relay that back to her?
Yeah, I probably just tell. I'm probably just tell her tell everything.
Like whisper it as in my ear, like as it's going on.
Right.
Yeah, I just reply back, we're fine. It's the Bitter Thunder clan. They're allied with the Seven Serpents.
Do we know it's the Bitter Thunder clan?
Yeah.
I
I
think
that's
you've
obvious.
put that together now. I'm trying to think of maybe you wouldn't know that. I mean, it's not honestly important. I think you hear them mention it. Let's just say that. That's simple.
Yeah. It's the Bitter Thunder clan. They're
Yep.
allied with the Seven Serpents, and they're going to a meeting at some ruins. Don't know which ones. Be back in half an hour.
That's probably too long. I probably got up until.
No, it's 25 words. Let's see here. What'd I say?
We're fine.
We're fine.
They're allied with the Seven Serpents.
Just allied with 7 serpents.
I'm just saying about what she said.
Yeah.
It's the Bitter Thunder tribe. They're going to a meeting at some ruins. Don't know which one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
That's what I was like. I feel like that's about where it was going to stop.
That's fine.
I mean,
There you
that gets all the information across anyway. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So what do you guess you go back then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be stupid and follow them just with Toity.
You know what I did.
I mean, me and you, we can conquer anything. But you and Toity,
I mean, and I'm not going to leave Raya alone for very long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As much as I kind of wish she'd just die. But...
Wow.
Well,
man.
Lord Navarro would not be happy with me if she
Man,
died.
Darius just needs to come back because these guys are gonna kill each other.
Technically, it kind of happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yes,
I know.
They literally did.
Wow.
So,
I love you, Emily, so much.
Wow.
So that took about an hour. So it's 8 a.m. and then you move up 8:30, and then I guess you go. Wait, or are you gonna explore the rest of those hexes?
Yeah, we're gonna. So
Okay.
we're back down here.
So 8, and then I mean it gets to 10, and you've explored the rest of the hexes, right? So you're
Yay.
Okay, so
Right
then
there.
at 11 we'll get to the other ruins. So
At 10,
Oh.
he has to roll another random
Yep.
encounter.
great.
And then the
Yeah.
ogres come by, and they're like,
Oh no!
Another
Interesting.
room.
Another ruin?
Yeah.
Is this just the
This is
one
where
that they
the
meet
meeting
at?
is. They got
Right.
I mean, they
lost.
moved the wrong way to have.
I mean, is this just like another? Because
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Settle-
you know what I think you find? You know what I think you find?
More flesh.
No. Let's see. Who would be? I think Akashi is the one who's scouting, right?
Yeah.
Akashi, make a perception test for me. Man, I love it when random rolls make things interesting.
come on, Akashi, help me out here, bud.
Okay, yeah. So, you you kind of like get wind of the existence of this camp before you see them. You kind of come over a hill, and you see like down in the little valley, in between like two of these hills. You see a group of fire people. See some fire.
oh,
Genasi.
wait, you see the people?
You see a group of fire genasi like milling around a camp.
Oh.
There's about 6 of them, and they look very like beat up. Like not beat up, I guess, because they would have, but like they're not having a good time. It's
Were you
obvious
guys
that they.
also bound by the zombie dinosaur?
Yeah, and so I mean, Akashi doesn't know this, but we as the audience see that Itocalli is here.
Oh, Itocalli.
Yeah,
That's the lady we talked to before,
yeah,
right?
little home. Yeah, the priestess, the one that.
Yeah, I
Darius had
suppose
a
you'd know
major
what her
crush
real
on.
name is now, huh?
Yeah,
Oh well, no, we did establish because we did the pointing thing
exactly. Yeah.
and whatnot. So yeah,
So, Akashi, you get wind of this, and I guess you go back and tell everybody about this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I hear that, I start like rushing forward on my tiny little legs.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, wait, Toity, no, don't just rush in there.
Oh,
Like, I get that they didn't kill us one time.
Just
That's not going
because
to
you
prevent
speak
them.
the same language as them doesn't mean that you can be friends. Look at me and Ari.
I I mean, just because they didn't kill us last time, that doesn't mean that they're not going to attack this time.
Well, I mean, the thing
know,
is,
wait.
the guy who was the belligerent one got eaten by a T-Rex.
I mean,
so
still, Ari's
Itocalli
just
was the
very
nice
weary.
one. Yeah, I totally understand that. It makes sense for Ari, but
I mean, I kind of want to like take out one of my five of my beans and just have like the barrier around us as we like go up.
that's a great idea. Yeah,
It only lasts for a minute, though, doesn't it?
That's
right.
fine.
But like as you enter
Just to like make sure that they're not going to like attack us.
yeah, sure.
And then once it disappears, it's fine. Like,
Sure. So Ari, I mean, you get the harmless flash of pain that usually happens when you use this, the Earth's Eyes, as they're called. And sorry, I gotta look up a thing real quick.
I mean, I don't like being poked in the eye.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So as you're holding these beans in your hand, Ari, you keep like out of the corner. Whenever you have them like only in the corner of your eye, it looks like they're moving, like kind of like moving around your hand, like weirdly, like they're like twirling around. And but as soon as you look down, they're like they haven't moved, like they're exactly where you left them. But every time you see them out of the corner of your eye, it's as if they're moving. It's this weird optical illusion.
okay.
The weeping beans.
Yeah.
Weeping angel beans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
fine.
that's a little
So,
weird
yeah.
to you, but
So that's all I do. I just want to make sure that
Sure.
we're going in and like we want to make sure that we can talk to them first.
yeah, sure. So you see, right, like Itocalli is the one that turns around, and she looks very weary, like she has had a bad week. And she looks up, and her eyes widen, and she says, I mean, Toy, you can understand this right away. Silly. But I mean, you hear it as Toity now.
Itocalli, what has happened? What has happened?
And she starts walking forward, and she hits the barrier. And she's like, what?
Ari, put it down. She means no harm.
Fine. I take out the other bean.
Yeah, and then it goes away, and she's like,
Sorry, my friend. My friend wanted to make sure we were walking in safe.
I mean, I mean you no harm. I assure you.
I know. We've had a rough couple of days. Sorry.
Us too.
What happened?
Well, some sort of.
Actually, wait one second. I'm gonna cast tongues.
Hold up, wait.
Oh, cast tongues
Wait,
on her.
what? Wait, why do I have tiny hut? Wait, when did I use tiny hut today?
No, you used it yesterday.
No.
Okay, it's like I don't know why. Oh no, I did cast tongues earlier. That's why.
Oh, you did, yeah.
On yourself. yeah.
I'm gonna use. What time is it again?
like 10 a.m.
Oh, it's
10.
only 10. Dang.
Mhm.
No, I'm not gonna cast tongues on her. I'll just be the translator.
So, fine.
I only have 3 third-level spells.
You could
Raya.
cast comprehend languages, couldn't you? Love
I
you.
don't have tongues today.
Oh, darn it. Yeah, you can
I
cast
ins-
comprehend languages on
I
her.
instead have
On
melded
her.
with
Oh,
Joe.
actually, wait. Can I cast it on her? But she can't speak to us, though.
Well,
Yeah.
she could speak to you still, and then
I
well,
mean,
she
well,
could.
I can
But
talk
then
to
she'd
her,
be able to
right?
speak to all of us, and then you could translate for us
I mean,
if we
but
wanted.
that's. Yeah, I mean, I feel
Not
like
much
it's not
better.
worth it to do. Yeah.
No, don't do
You
it.
No, because I want to hear what she's saying.
Actually,
I
wait.
don't
Why
want
did
to
I
get
cast tongues? Wait,
second-hand
actually,
information.
okay. Actually, wait. I'll take it back. There was no reason for me to cast tongues earlier.
Oh, you could have just comprehend languages.
I
Yeah,
could have cast
you're
comprehend
right. Of
languages
course.
as a ritual. So
Oh, there you go.
I'm just gonna say I cast tongues on her now.
That makes sense. Yep.
That way, I'm not wasting anything.
Yeah. So she says, "What did that do?" And you all hear her.
I've learned some magic that can help us understand you better, and now you can understand us a little better too.
And she seems to just realize that you had talked to her before, and like you hadn't been able to do that before. And she's like, "I see."
That this little robe helps too, and I kind of just like I grab the
Her
robe like
eyes widen. And she
You're like
says,
this pretty robe.
"Where did you find that?" It's a cloak, by the way, but yeah.
cloak.
We found it in some Cobalt's lair.
we found it in a cave, just laying there. And
Do you know what that is, Toity?
do I?
I mean, as all magic items in this game work, you do to some extent. It's called the Ambassador's Gift.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was used to be an ambassador to the Fire Genasi kingdom.
And but I'm saying, like, I do know all that though, right?
You know that.
I have it written down. I just want to make sure Toady knows it.
Yeah,
So,
Toady knows it.
Like, yes, I do know what it is, and I realize this is somewhat of a special sacred item for you.
No, it's okay. No, I'm not saying that you can't have it.
Okay.
My people have it's been lost for centuries now.
Centuries. How it doesn't look centuries old, does it?
No, I mean, no magic.
It's magic.
I mean, no, I'm just like Toy's like,
yeah. He's like, and she says, yeah. I mean, the last person to wear it was
1162 is totally in this.
So the thing is, she says, the last person to wear that cloak was
murdered.
And she just doesn't finish the sentence. Like, do you say that, Raya?
I say, I kind of do it more questioning. I'm like, murdered?
Well, yes, but only after what he did.
Was it one of those stupid seven servants people?
It may as well have been. It was a traitor.
Oh.
A traitor to my people.
I am not.
I think when she says the word traitor, Akashi just reaches down to one of his swords and just grips it tightly.
Well, I will do. Do not worry. I do not plan on doing that.
No, I'm not saying that you are, Toity. So question real quick. Where do you usually keep the Rod of Rulership?
It's probably at my
Like, that's my question, right? Is it at your belt loop?
Honestly, how big is it again?
I mean, it's literally just like a rod. It's like I don't know.
But compared to Toity, how big is it?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, it's like as if someone had a cane, right?
So it's probably
you could have it like strung across your back.
Yeah, it's probably strung across my back.
Yeah.
More like a scepter of rulership.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't know if I ever told you the name. I told you the name of that, right? It's the Serpent's Glory.
Yeah, Serpent's Glory.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And the thing is, like, she looks at that and she's like, "Where did you get that?"
Same place,
actually. I have a feeling that's related.
Yes, that was also an item that traitor carried.
I am sorry.
And suddenly you remember the Fire Genasi ghost that like attacked you and said you're a traitor, and it was definitely because you were holding the two items that the traitor had.
Like you like shiver. You're like, oh yeah.
Oh, that makes some things make sense now.
Yeah, she kind of looks at you and she's like, Toity. And like I think the other Fire Genasi are like glaring at you. And like she says, if you ever happen to visit my home, I would not be wearing those.
Well, right now it's the only reason I was able to understand you at first, I must admit.
No, I understand. The cloak would probably be okay. You could, I mean, it was for an ambassador, but not the rod. Definitely.
Is there a way for me to take the rod and like shove the head like into the back of my pack so you can't tell what it is?
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, yeah, like it's just kind of sticking out.
Already.
But
I just want to have a bigger pack. need a bag of holding.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Huh?
Whoa.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but
Yi also
Yi
does not
has
have one.
Yeah, Yi definitely doesn't.
Does not have
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
As she
At the
shoves a
same
breastplate
time,
inside.
you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Emily, I love you.
So I'll say like I'm sorry. I understand that there's some animosity between these items.
It's anyway, I guess it's not that important. But
So what are you guys doing here? I mean, I thought that we've learned a lot since being here with you. Apparently your people are enslaved.
she looks at you, and she's like,
I mean, Ari's not caring about.
"Yeah, I know." And she says, "Yes, we're enslaved."
So what are you doing here?
Trying to free ourselves from our oppressors, of course.
And how are you trying to do that?
You might want to sit down.
Oh, it's story time?
It is story time. So Itocalli kind of like sits you guys down and like you guys have a conversation. And she basically says, I'm part of a group called the I'm realizing now that I named it the Cult of the Dying Flame, but that sounds like it's bad. Like I guess it translates that way for you, but it's more just like a secretive religious sect rather than like people who murder babies. Right? And you know, sacrifice goats and
Only
stuff.
lizard babies.
Yeah. So she says, right, like, I'm part of a group called the Cult of the Dying Flame. We're trying to reclaim the glory of the Tlacannoli.
The guacamole.
The Tlacannoli, remember, the people of the flame.
Could you type that out? Because I heard guacamole and I was like,
We must
wow,
reclaim the glory of the
got really
guacamole.
the place got really cool all of a sudden.
We found this.
Did we just discover avocados?
You add extra lime.
Yeah.
Wait, in a group called the what of the Dying Flame?
The
again?
Cult of the Dying Flame.
Guys, we need the magic item that holds swine souls, and we need a lot of bacon.
And
So, yeah.
Sorry, remind me what the clock only did because all I heard
That's
now-
the people of the flame. Remember, that's the name for themselves. It's just the fire genasi. Right, they wouldn't call themselves genasi because genasi is a Chinese word. So,
I wasn't the only one who heard guacamole.
or an Arabian word. I don't remember.
Tlacannoli, give me the formula.
You have no idea how funny that is, knowing what I know. Hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad that you crack yourself up, Caleb.
I am glad too. Thank you, Alyssa.
Caleb.
Oh man.
Anyway, could you start that again so we can just get back on track?
Yeah, and so
Just-
She-
they're called-
Trying to reclaim the glory of the Tlacannoli.
yes. So basically, she explains, right? Like, this group. So there's a couple of acolytes still left in the camp and a couple of warriors. So it was a group of like the warriors of this cult, and then some of like the legitimate like acolytes and priests that were being sent. And she basically she's like, we've received portents that some great change has happened. Something is happening here on the Isle of Solemn Graves. Prophecies are in motion, things that have been a long time in coming. We found out that the Seven Serpents sent an expedition to the Isle, and we knew that we had to come as well. We had to stop them from whatever they were doing. We were too late. Do you know anything about the Orb of Shabalba?
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as she says, I'm like, oh no. Puts my head in his hand and just shake it. Oh no, not that thing, not that thing.
I think
Yes, we
Akashi
know
pipes
a
in.
little bit about it.
I think Akashi pipes in. Apparently, these three have had a run-in with this orb.
You did. Where did you find it?
In one of the ruins down the river.
Near the shore.
Near the shore. Yes, that makes sense.
It was one of the
That's-
first things we encountered when we got here.
That was...
Ari, is that where they're going to meet?
It could be. They just said they were going to ruins.
Who? What? What are you talking about?
We ran
We
into
encountered the tribe
Do
of
we
the
need to
Bitter
go stop
Thunder.
them?
Do you know them?
So you see Tribe of Better Thunder. She shakes her head. She's like, that doesn't sound familiar.
Lizard people.
I don't know. There's some. They look like lizards. They ride
live right in the
dinosaurs.
south of the
Yes, I
island.
know of lizard folk, but I don't know of this specific tribe.
Anyway,
They may have lived here before.
Just this morning, no more than 2-3 hours ago, a scouting party was around, and Toity and I followed them, and we found out, or Toity heard them through magic, that they were meeting up with the Seven Serpents at some ruins, and they were headed northeast of here.
Yes, that sounds
Down the
right.
river.
That sounds right. They've found the orb. We got word of this some time ago, a scouting mission, spying on them. They've been at the tower. Them and some ogres, they had allied, and, well, I recognize that tower. It's been in so many legends. We thought it was gone forever. That was the home of the caretaker.
The ogres had allied with who?
The Seven
The
Serpents.
Seven Serpents.
The ones that attacked our camp.
Yeah.
So the ogres had allied with the Seven Serpents in regards to the orb as well.
Yes. Yeah, so basically
And
all
wait.
of the monsters are against you now.
I think we knew that already.
Yeah. It's a good thing you killed all the kobolds, or else they would probably be allied with them too.
Only had to die.
Yeah, that's true. And so yeah, so she says, they were in the process of trying to extract the orb from the tower. I don't think they had gotten it out yet.
Extracted?
See, the orb of Shabalba was created by Shabalba, the god of death. He put power into it, the power to control death. It was the thing he used to facilitate the underworld, to make sure that everything went as it was supposed to, that people died, that people went to the afterlife. It was misused. Back when the Seven Serpents came.
It was misused by the Seven Serpents?
Yes.
How?
so?
This is long centuries ago legend, so I'm not entirely sure how accurate this is, but as far as I know, a snake god of the Seven Serpents, their patron goddess, she stole the orb from Shabalba and tried to use it. And she kind of like looks off into the distance, like over, like you guys can like see the ocean kind of like, or I think you're in a valley, so you can't really see this, but she looks in the direction like north of the island, and she said, "The goddess sunk our kingdom. Every bit of it, it's underwater now. We were enslaved by the Seven Serpents, and we've been living under their oppression ever since. Shabalba was greatly weakened by the loss of this orb, but he knew that..." Well, she backs up and says, "The goddess," and I'll give her a name real quick, just so we have that. Let me see.
Okay, so let's go find the orb
I don't want to see the orb ever again.
so we can kill the
I
people who
kinda
are
do
trying
now.
to hold it.
Her name
And I
is...
have locate object prepared.
See, what you have to do is take the orb and then use it to bring Darius back.
That's exactly what Ari's thinking right
I
now.
know, which is so okay.
I'm like, wait, you can control death with this thing?
And okay, so this is interesting because Ari was always like opposed to the like just whatever's material for or like she thought purely materially.
Kind of. I mean, yes and yeah. It just
Okay, so this is
the
going to be
the thought of controlling death
yeah.
and
This is going to be a mouthful of a name. It's
holy crap.
Chalchiu Tlaku. Chalchiu Tlaku.
You guys might have made fun of.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, so she says a name
Oh
that's
my
really hard to
gosh.
pronounce, but you guys understand that it means, in their language, she of the jade skirt.
Okay.
And like
He's
I think
really
you-
into fashion.
well, that's the thing. I mean, I think you get the idea that it's kind of like a play on the idea that she's kind of half snake.
Okay.
Right? So the jade skirt is her serpentine like tail, right? Like the lower half of her body. And so she when she used she this is her explaining Itocalli. She explains when she the jade skirt used the orb to crack the world, it retaliated. It would not stand misuse, and it smote her down. She has been in hiding ever since, ruined, broken herself. Well, I don't know the details of that. I don't know whether she's still alive or not, but when that happened, Shabalba knew that he had to hide away the orb, that no one could use it again, and so it disappeared. But it's come back now, and I think that can only mean one thing. Shabalba is dying.
The goddess of death is dying.
Yes. All gods die, Ari. They don't live forever. Millions of years, maybe, but
And
not
what
forever.
good is it to be a god?
She kind of seems offended by that because she's kind of a priestess. And she says, they are honorable beings who serve us and make sure that the world works as it's supposed to.
Honorable. Yeah. Honorable gods let people die? I don't think so.
Haha, here we go. We're getting into the moral dilemma.
And she kind of just like ignores you. I think,
Thank you.
yeah. She just turns to Toity.
If Shibolba die, that accent and that word don't mix very well. If Shibolba dies, does someone take over as the god of death, or what happens there?
She looks at you.
Whoever controls the orb controls death.
Yeah, I think she just. Did you say that, Raya?
Yeah.
You just kind of repeat it? Yeah,
like,
I think she. That's where we
whoever
cut the
controls
scene.
orb controls
right?
death.
That's where we cut the scene. And I think it's implied, right? That, like. So, yeah. What do you guys want to do? So it sounds like what's happening to all of your guys' information, that they are going to meet up at the tower with these lizard folk, and maybe the ogres are there, but it's for sure the serpents are there. And I don't know, figure out how to extract the orb. It sounds like they haven't been able to do it yet. And Itocalli, the last thing she explains is that, I mean, this is like a safeguard, right? The person who takes the orb has to be worthy to take the orb. And so there's a process, right, to like for this orb to be wielded, but the person has to be worthy. So
Interesting.
I was not expecting this to happen, guys. Random encounters are so cool.
What the twist?
So yeah, what's your plan, guys? I mean, she says right away, she's like, I mean, we don't have the strength alone to take to storm the tower.
We have like 3/4 of an army that came over to help.
But they probably have 2 full armies.
They just
I mean, they're
don't
just
know
meeting up with
about
a
this
couple of them.
situation right
That's
now.
true.
I mean,
Strength isn't
if we
everything.
go now,
You could
we might
send
be
you
able to
could
get the
send a
drop.
you could send a
Yeah, you can do
message.
sending.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, do we want to head that way now? Is it better to stay away so we can surprise them when everybody's here, or do we want to not waste the time in case they figure out a way to get the orb?
Doesn't sound like you can really find a way to get the orb. Sounds like you have to, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
Yeah, so Toity, I think
know what's better.
both Toity and Raya, I think you suddenly just get like a little bit of a chill because you
Oh,
remember like your name being said, right? When you were in the presence of the orb. You just kind of hear it in your echoing in your mind.
So what if the orb calls to everyone and it's trying to find the one who's worthy?
Why wouldn't it just?
Itocalli nods. She
should-
says that sounds like what's
And
happening.
it just, if you get close enough to it, it starts calling you to test you.
So she looks at you and she says, "Did you two? Have you
We saw it.
heard the orb?"
Yeah, it kind of said my name, a name that no one else had known.
Yeah, sounds like the orb. It is besides being able to control death, it has a reservoir of
why does
knowledge.
it kill animals around it?
It's an orb of death, Ari. What do you expect?
I mean, but it doesn't kill people around it. Buck died right away when he got into contact.
She looks at your at Buck. She's like, he looks alive to me.
I mean, Raya brought him back to life. Like, he's fine, but like, he went down.
And she looks at you, Raya. She's like, you wasted a resurrection spell on that?
He just passed
He
out.
didn't really die.
He passed out.
Oh. Okay.
He got close to death. He got close enough to be out of my comfort
I
zone.
wouldn't.
Priestess chat, yeah. Because she knows how much that costs, and like she also didn't expect you to be that high level of a cleric. Yeah, I mean, so she says, there are all sorts of legends about what the orb can do. I don't know what to believe.
I mean, it's very powerful.
Yes,
Any legends about the orb bringing people back to life?
of course. That's
Guys, we need to go to the orb right away.
Oh, wait, one second. So if I understand this correctly, though, this
Raya,
does
send a message to Lord Navarro to meet us there with the army.
real
Tony's like,
quick.
Leave
wait!
an orb.
I think like
Yeah.
at this whole time, Akashi's head is just like bouncing between everybody.
Right, she's like,
trying to
what
make
is
sense
going
of,
on?
like trying to make sense of every bit of the info, because like Akashi's thing the whole time is like he's been gathering information, trying to piece together everything that's been going on, because that's what he does. That's what he always does. He's trying to piece together everything that's going on. So he's trying to figure out like why does Ari all of a sudden want to bring so interested in bringing someone back to life, and what happened with the guy that died.
I mean, I think you can guess at that.
Yeah, and so like, and he's like, okay, what's Toity's, and like, just like so much information at once, and he's just like,
Yeah, and maybe we hear like because Akashi has gotten a lot of information that's like out of context too. Maybe you're like thinking like, wait, where does the ghost figure into this? And then wait, what about the like the flesh stuff? Is that connected? Like you're like, what is going on?
Actually, so real quick, so I take it then it's not wise nor possible to destroy the orb.
Like any artifact, it's possible. Any artifact has a particular set of circumstances that the artifact can be destroyed in, but I think it's been lost to time. Maybe some ancient scroll, or I'm sure that Shabolba knows, but...
Because that would solve a few
Did you ever
problems.
talk to Shabolba?
He is my patron god, so I suppose
Why
in
not?
a way, yes.
Hmm.
One more question. One more.
Sure.
Then how do you really know that Shabolba's real if you haven't talked to him?
I have
Ari,
talked to
this is
him.
not
I've
a
heard his
discussion for
voice in
right
my
now.
heart.
Please forgive
Oh,
her.
what?
She does not understand.
Itocalli,
I think Akashi's basically just slowly starts backing away. Like, while everybody's distracted with each other, he just like sees the opportunity to start just studying some plants.
Okay, yeah.
Besides that, quick question, Itocalli. Do you know if that has anything to do with the flesh
Glowing
pockets
flesh.
that have been showing up in the ground?
She looks at you and she says, like, basically in their language, like, what the F? Like really harsh language.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but how do I even describe this? You remember when we first ran into you outside that one? Actually, because we ran into
the coitus?
Wait.
Yeah. What the
Yeah, we
corn
ran
blossom?
Yeah, we were outside that temple of the flesh when
we
saw
ran
them.
into them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember
Right,
when
but you didn't
first
tell
ran
them
in-
anything about it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
you
well,
remember
we
when
hadn't
first-
even explored it yet.
Yeah.
You remember when we first ran into you? In
You
front
know,
of
you had
that
explored
one
it somewhat, and then you came back to rest.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You remember when we first ran into you outside that one mausoleum, temple, whatever it was?
Yes, it's a. She says, it was a shrine to the god of wisdom.
Wisdom. Well, the thing is, when we went inside, actually, I'm gonna write that down too. Good idea. Flesh tunnel. See, when we went inside there, we found something that was quite odd. We went downstairs into it, and we found a cavern made of flesh.
So also the name of this god is Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
I've heard that name before, but I don't remember exactly what from.
Yeah, I
it's
feel
the
like
name of a
text.
dinosaur.
Oh.
A Quetzalcoatl is like it's the actual god in like Aztecs
Yeah.
or Mayans or
Mayan.
Mayans.
That's why
Yeah,
it sounds familiar.
It's like the
Or-
sun god.
Wait, is it?
I think it might be Aztecs.
Hugo!
Yeah, it's Aztec. Mesoamerican. Yeah. So right, like god of wisdom, called like the feathered serpent, the precious twin.
The feathered serpent.
Mhm.
Who else did we see that were feathered serpents? The feathered serpents.
Yeah.
See, and it was quite odd. Which is just is a fleshy tunnel. We found was it a heart or a brain, or both?
Both.
Both.
We found like a heart and a brain, and it was very strange. We almost died inside of it. Hard to forget that. And then recently we've been walking around the area, and it seems that the flesh has been spreading.
What?
Yeah. I realize this sounds very ridiculous and far-fetched, but
Toity, are you
But
okay?
I feel like
Is there something
Okay.
wrong with him? She looks at the rest of you.
You just told us
Itocalli-
that there's a magical orb that can bring back people back from the
Well,
dead.
yes, of course
You
there
think
is.
that's
That's a
weird?
thing.
Ari, just be quiet for
No, you be
20
quiet,
years.
princess.
For 20
Um,
years.
to both of you just
It's
Ah!
He is not making this up. He's not going crazy. But
I-
I don't right now that's not the pressing issue in my mind.
Well,
The
the
pressing
fact-
issue is the Toity.
Go ahead.
I think the pressing issue is the fact that we have two groups going after this orb that are very dangerous, that we need to address that first and foremost, in case one of them can control death by the time we get to them.
I agree. I just
think-
wanted
I
to
think
make
Akashi-
sure that the two things weren't related.
Akashi jokingly pipes in, maybe you could convince both factions to meet in the flesh caves.
Seems like a ways off.
Akashi, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, that's so...
Like he said it in a way that was like supposed to be very obviously sarcastic.
I don't think Raya cares.
Honestly, guys, I'm not sure.
Honestly, neither does Ari.
I don't
she's
think
like-
anyone gives you the benefit of the doubt for that. They just think you're just like, come on, that's stupid. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure if I'm more out of character. I'm not sure if I'm more concerned or relieved that the flesh tunnels spreading and the
aren't related.
Or aren't related. Like, is that a good thing or a bad
right.
thing?
It's like on one hand, at least they aren't related to the orb of death, but on the other hand, there's
Maybe
another
what the heck
thing.
is going on?
Guys, maybe
Yeah.
there's another orb of life.
I don't think the things that came and tried to take over our bodies were made of life.
Okay, everybody. What do we want to do? Are we going right now to this tower, or do we want to go now and camp out around where Willow is, wait for our army to travel the day, stay a night, and then attack?
Will they even be there in the morning, do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like they've taken a while to like try to extract it so far, but the thing is now they have another piece, right, to the puzzle. Maybe one of the lizard folk can be worthy to take it.
I say we go nearby and watch from afar and wait for the rest of the army to come. That way we can come in if something starts to happen, but at the same time we are waiting in case we have more backup.
Okay. I will get drafting a message.
Do it.
Because it'll take a while for Lord Navarro and his...
It'll probably take the full day for him to be able to mobilize them to get there. If we tell him to hurry, it'll take the day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with Navarro, if you tell him, yeah, this is really important, he'll just be like, all right, let's do this.
Tell the wizard guy has the orb involved. He'll come booking it. You don't like that the orb is important. I wanted it destroyed.
I mean, that's still
Well, what
a viable
I'm
option.
upset about is this is literally the first thing we encountered.
I know.
Hey, we finally have finished the map, and now it's right back to the orb.
I know, I guess
We've
so.
come full circle.
Exactly. And then we have to stop the encroaching flesh circle.
Simple tasks, you know.
You know,
Stop,
whatever.
destroy the orb of death, and stop the encroaching wall of flesh that's slowly engulfing everything.
Wall of Flesh. That's a beautiful name right there.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a spell.
I want to ask her what happened to the rest of her crew.
Yeah, what did happen? We never did find that out.
Yeah, I mean, so she said basically we were following the Seven Serpents. We were trying to like get in more information about this, and then we got attacked by a dinosaur, and it ate all of us,
A
except
zombie
for
dinosaur?
these ones. No, she like. Do you say that?
Yeah, like as undead dinosaur,
She looks
perchance?
and she says, "No,
Well,
I
it's
mean we killed it by the time that we left."
Oh no!
Oh.
Where did you run into it? I was like, all right, well, could you pull out your map real quick?
I think we know, Toity, exactly what happened.
I don't like that though.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear about your friend that got eaten by that dinosaur.
Yes. Thanks. She doesn't really know what to think about that.
We had to re-kill him. I'm sorry about that, but you know.
What?
Well, the dinosaur came back to life
What?
and then spit him out, and then he came back to life as a zombie. And
What?
Yeah, it's getting a little
There's some
sketchy.
necromantic magic going on in this area, and I like pointed out on the map.
Quick question.
Wait a second.
Is out of character.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
I think
Is Northwest one word or two words?
One.
Is
I think,
lizard folk one word or two
That
words?
is also one word.
I
Can I
think
make snake folk one word as well?
Sure. It's not a
Cool.
word. It's not what they're called, really, but
But it's a one word description of who they are.
that's fine.
Boom, I'm ready to send a message.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
I'm like, I know exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think like after Ari mentions the zombie
Yeah.
zombie thing, I think Akashi like stops what he's doing and like something clicks in his head and he pipes back in. You said orb of death?
Well, it's technically called the Orb of Shabalba, but Shabalba means the afterlife, so yes, it's an Orb of Death. More like the orb that controls death, I guess.
There's a necromantic. Oh, what would it be called? What would we call it? A shrine?
Yeah, it was some sort of obelisk, maybe?
There was a necromantic obelisk.
Where?
Here, I pointed on the map.
So it's happening then.
What's happening?
You know what that obelisk
Stop being vague, woman.
I don't mean to be vague. There's a lot going on here that you don't understand.
Like
Help us to understand.
When we saw it on our first run of the island, it was just overgrown weeds, vines. If it's active again, that means that Shabalba's servants are active again.
What?
Shabalba's acting to protect the orb. We got in its way.
So Shabalba's the one who did that?
Well, Shabalba's servants, so by proxy, Shabalba.
So your Shabalba's servants try to kill us. That's wonderful. That's great.
I mean, undead are...
Why would Shabalba's servants try to create undead? That makes no sense.
She looks at you like you're stupid. She's like...
They serve the god of death. Their main power and...
But why would they
influence is
create
gonna
something
be
that's
over
so...
death.
That makes... Why would they create something that doesn't even serve them?
It does serve them.
But undead are...
We fought the dinosaur when it wasn't a zombie.
So if it was a zombie, it would have listened to you?
I don't know, maybe. She said
Doubtful.
she says that as if like, well, I'm a priestess of death, so yeah, probably.
I mean, more likely
Rolls
than
her
when
eyes.
it was alive.
Wait, say it again.
More likely to have followed them when it was dead than when it was alive.
Yeah.
I like roll my eyes and just like, oh, I'm so over this god of
Yeah.
death.
So I think she looks at you, Ari, and just has a little like smirk on her face, and she says, I wonder why the undead guardian attacked you.
20 does smirk a little bit though.
I think Akashi pipes in again. So you think that perhaps if you could communicate with one of these undead, that they may listen to you and you may have some sort of dialogue with them?
It depends. I'm certain that I could stop the undead from attacking me. But controlling them is another thing.
Could you speak with them?
Most undead are, well, they're mindless. They don't have a mind to speak to. If we could speak to an intelligent undead, one of Shabalba's servants that had the sentience, then, well, maybe then they could help us.
Like
rally the
Willow?
undead. She looks at you. What do you mean?
The Will-O-Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp that guards the undead graves just up north.
So, and the thing, what you're doing though, right, is you're saying the word that would be for this thing in your language, but it doesn't translate over to her, because basically what it kind of translates to her is like bog spirit, and so she looks at you, she's like,
It's the little shining light that's in the ruins. Have you been to the ruins that are northeast of here?
I've stayed away from it. I just wanted to be respectful. That's where the Forsaken Shrine is.
I try and use like kind of think like talking through the cape, the whatever it is, and using like to speak the Genasi word for it.
Okay, yeah. So you think about it for a second, and you're like, this thing, and then I think she understands it. So I think like the word for it in their language translates to something. It translates literally to green light.
Red light.
Yeah, like well, it's like green. Yeah, basically that's what it is, right? It's yeah, it's like a green light that, like literally that's what it means, and that there's no more information about it. But yeah, you say that, and she nods slowly. She says, "Yes, that would work. A green light would work. An arcane guardian.
We ran into one earlier.
They're probably the one who's doing this. They probably activated the obelisk."
Friendly. She's very friendly.
Interesting.
Very helpful.
I've usually known green lights, or at least in books, I've never met one, to be stiff and formal.
She did very well to protect us.
Good singer too.
Interesting. So, this Willow is at the Forsaken Shrine?
Yup.
Yes.
Well, then I think our next step is to talk to her.
Okay, so let me send a message to
Send a message to Willow.
the captain of our army to have them start heading this way. So I cast sending to Lord Navarro, and I say, need entire army to travel northwest to river, not along the coast. Continue upstream to ruins. Matter of death. We'll be fighting lizard folk and snake folk.
So, make a persuasion check.
Oh, she hasn't. Can I give her bardic inspiration for this?
Yeah, sure.
That one. Nah, we're having an off day.
Persuasion.
This is
okay.
We're starting the season of Advent, Akashi.
Okay, and I'm rolling a D8 for.
Yeah, D8.
Yeah,
I believe.
D8.
Come on.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think he's convinced by your, he doesn't, like, he understands that you're urgent about it, but he's not convinced that it's necessarily a super urgent thing for him, and he's kind of in the middle of a thing right now, so he basically says...
Does he respond back?
He does, yeah. He says something along the lines of, I'll get there as soon as I can. We're sort of busy with making sure the fort is ready to be defended at the moment.
I would like to send a follow-up message to Captain Mickey then.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Time to earn your stripes.
Keep going. I'm going to be drafting.
Okay, yeah. So you get this back and you're like,
Some 25
okay.
words.
Figuring out the words
Lord
to say.
Navarro is not into it, so I'm going to see if Mickey can help convince him that this is urgent.
So yeah, like
Ryan never talks to me.
You can send a
must be urgent if Raya contacted me. We need to go now.
you can send a message to the wizard saying it's about the orb of death.
Do you think he would know about that?
You talked to him about the orb. He was wanting to know about it.
No,
wasn't he?
Damien. Not the
Damien.
wizard, but the cleric. Yeah, I mean, if you told the cleric, at the very least, he would probably come. Maybe alone, but he would come.
Great, one more person.
I mean, one more higher level cleric. Yeah, so, I mean, I think Itocalli, like, stands up, and she says...
I mean, if we get a whole army of undead, we're good.
Yeah.
Like the end of Lord of the Rings.
Seriously, this is guys, this is like literally nothing like I thought this session would be whatsoever, but I am so
Me
down
neither.
with it. Yeah.
I thought it would include a zombie dinosaur fight.
It did not.
Nope.
But maybe that zombie dinosaur will end up fighting for you. Maybe it's a good thing you
Yes!
didn't kill it. Oh man.
That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. So if we set this up where you guys are, oh man, gonna set up a big old battlefield, and we're gonna have all sorts of things happening. It's gonna be great. But yeah. So Itocalli stands up and she says, "This is important. If you are with me," she's looking at you, Toity, particularly, "then I think we have a chance at stopping them."
Here.
Wait, what did you say?
Good to hear.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it basically is the plan. Once Raya sends us off, is to go to Willow first, try to get her to like bring the undead army.
Tell her
you're
it's
gonna
to
go
protect Shaboba.
So you're gonna go under the mountain and go talk to the army of the dead, and then go to Minas Tirith. It's gonna be a good time.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
my last
the Rohirrim are coming.
To cast sending. To
And
Captain
Darius is
Miggy.
Gandalf the White.
Okay. I'm casting sending to Captain Miggy, saying, please convince Navarro to lead army to help. Lizard folk in process of literally controlling all death. Entire world, including Ari, in danger.
Oh, God.
All right, make that persuasion check with advantage, I think.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What the heck?
Here we go. 15.
Oh no! Do you want to give her another bardic inspiration?
Yes.
please?
Well, you
Take a
inspire
break.
me. Thank you.
Take a bardic
How
inspiration.
high do I have to roll for this?
I know what it is.
Roll.
You can do it.
Okay, come on, guys.
It's the power of
Can you feel?
Seven.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, yes.
So Miggy replies back, on my life and my honor, I will see that it is done.
Ah,
Oh.
Miggy about to die.
Oh yeah, I mean totally. I think we all see that coming. He's gonna die epically in this battle. That's yep.
Yeah.
And then we'll just bring him back to life with this
I mean, yeah,
death orb.
sure. Just bring everybody back to life.
Guys, Shaboba's going to die, and Ari is going to become the goddess of death.
No, she's not.
I'm not sure.
So
I'm not
the
sure
thing is though.
Over my dead body.
Yeah.
Happened.
So the thing is though, I mean, let's keep this in mind, right? There's a process to be worthy of the orb, and Ari failed the first test, if you do recall.
I didn't speak to her.
Remember, she ran. She got afraid. She
got
ran.
scared.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now she has an aversion to it.
Man.
So there you go. I think that's our session. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before you guys,
Can we say that? I mean, do we have to roll anything else to just travel to the ruins?
No, we can just pick it up next time being at the ruins.
Yeah, can we just go ahead and be at the ruins?
Mhm.
If
So-
anybody doesn't have to do anything.
Question would be, Raya, would you do a sending to Willow?
I don't have any more.
You don't have any more?
spells.
Okay.
Because I used the sending to Ari in the morning.
Okay. Just being clear, because there will be a difference on how this goes, whether or not Willow's
I mean,
been
and
contacted
what
previously.
time is it? It's only
It's
Right,
10 a.m.
exactly.
10,
Yeah,
10
it's-
a.m., so
you
we're going to
can't-
go.
Yeah, you have to go.
Well,
Okay,
I mean, we're
cool.
not going to stay at the Genasi camp.
Well, I mean, but it's been we've been here for an
Probably
hour.
been an hour. Yeah, it's like 11
Okay,
a.m.
then tongues is
it's 11.
then tongues
so
has
we're
ran out.
I mean,
still
it
not
makes
gonna be
sense.
staying here for the entire day.
No.
I told them that we'll be waiting at the ruins.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
So-
We'll go right away
Mhm.
to Willow.
Cool. Lit. I'm so into this campaign, guys. Oh, man. Okay, so all of this stuff has been there from session 2, just waiting for you guys to, open the box of Pandora. It's gonna be good, guys.
Dang. I'm glad that it took so long to open, though.
So I would just like to point out, though, me rolling that random encounter was the difference between... So this is what I expected to happen. If you guys didn't get wind of this and go to stop this, the serpents would have definitely figured out how to get the orb, and they would have left the island with it. And also, they would have it. They would go back to their empire, and they would try to figure out how to use it. And oh man, that would be a world of pain. There's been the entire time you guys have been wandering this island, there have been a bunch of clocks just ticking down as to how much they figure out about where the orb is, how to get it, how to escape with it. And it's just been ticking down, and this random roll was the difference between having a chance of stopping it or being completely oblivious to even existing. So Yeah.
I gotta say this, guys. I'm gonna find it really funny if Tony only wanted to ever be an ambassador, and suddenly he becomes the ambassador of death.
So
my
honestly, okay. When I first, because you had that whole thing with the orb happen, right? Session 2. I right away I was like, you know what? That's my guess. That the end of the campaign will be Toity becoming the god of death. I think that's how it's gonna end.
Is that more ironic, or would it be more ironic if Raya, the cleric of life?
Yeah, that would also be very well. That's the thing, right? You both have had the process begun, so it would be.
Right.
I was just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna make anything happen particularly, but like, yeah, it's just open there as to like what this is gonna be. And I promise you, if it works out in your favor, one of you will become the god of death. Like that's obviously how this is gonna end.
I just want to say, I think Darius, if he comes back before they start getting the orb, I think Darius should have advantage on all of them, being that he was chilling with the god of death, and the fact that he was already dead. I'm just saying.
Always have advantage on death saving throws.
I would also be like, honestly, I think any of you being the god ending up being the god of death would be very interesting. But that's the thing. Like when I say I promise that one of you will end up being the god of death, I mean if the campaign ends well, right? It's entirely possible that you fail, and one of the 7 serpents becomes the new god of death, and then
and then we become level 20, and then it's like, oh god.
Well, that's the thing, right? That would be the end of the campaign, level 20, fighting the god of death, right? Like for sure. I'm honestly so excited that I actually get to talk to you about this right now because I haven't been able to.
Is this one of the things that's in the fountain that I wasn't allowed to watch?
Oh, absolutely. There have been so many things in the fountain.
The fountain?
I'm also stealing from half a dozen other things.
Oh, okay.
So my initial inspiration.
It also makes me think of the Bulgarian with the.
I know.
You must get the orb.
Yep. So there's definitely Bulgarian influences too. I mean, if you didn't notice, the snake goddess was kind of totally Torak.
Yeah.
kind of just stole that. But yeah. So anyway, like, I don't even know what I was gonna say now.
We should just finish up and talk about this after.
Yeah, we should.
Because I got.
Yeah.
We need a break.
But yeah, for sure. So that was awesome. Episode 20, guys. Crap hit the fan. It's going all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is gonna be epic. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get some awesome stuff ready. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good. I'm excited. Are we all good for next week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Yes.
Awesome. So excited. Cool stuff.
It's just a good birthday.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there you go. That is Terra Nullius. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. And yeah, there it is. And we will be back next week with the quickly escalating climax of Season 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're out. Bye.